Hello and welcome back to Chinese Folk Tales. This is Beibei. Last time we talked about how people were created in Chinese mythology. The little humans that goddess Nuwa made from mud lived happily with their mother goddess. They had no idea that a major catastrophe was heading their way. What was going to happen? One day, Nuwa had already fallen asleep. So did the humans. But one little kid simply could not fall asleep. He got up, carefully not to wake anyone else. He looked around, observing the world at night. Suddenly, he saw something unusual to the northwest. Colorful lights surged in the dark sky, like waves upon water. Sounds a lot like the northern lights to me, but that's not the night view that he was familiar with. The little kid was mesmerized by the sight, but all of a sudden, a blinding white light slashed across the sky. Crack! All the colorful lights vanished, and there on the sky was a giant hole, and the hole was expanding. Before the little kid could make a move, the sky on the northwestern side crashed onto the earth. Bits of fire fell from the hole, more and more of it falling like rain. These drops of fire fell on the ground and lit up the grass and trees. Everyone else was woken up by now, and they were struck dumb by the sight around them. No one knew what to do. And that wasn't the worst yet. In a moment, they heard a deafening rumble that rocked the earth, as if giant dragons were turning underground. What they heard was the coming of a flood. "Flood! Flood!" Someone shouted and pointed to the southeast. Everyone turned to look, and they saw a devastating sight. A wall of flood water, as high as a mountain, was rushing toward them. In the blink of the eye, the valley was filled with water. Like a monster from heaven, the flood water engulfed everything that was in its way and was heading for Nuwa and her people. "Run! Run! Everybody run!" People started shouting when their senses came back to them. The little kid, who couldn't sleep, was the slowest and was on the verge of being swallowed up by the water when a big hand reached down and scooped him up. The hand carried him to the top of a nearby mountain where he could be safe. "Nuwa! It's Nuwa! Mother! Mother! Save us! Please save us!" People shouted desperately. Nuwa saw what was happening, and it looked like the end of the world was coming. Part of the sky had collapsed. The ground was sinking, and flood water was gushing out from the ground. The places where people lived were now underwater. Why was this happening? Well, it's been a long, long time since Pangu created the world, and his greatest fear came true. The heaven collapsed, so there were holes in the sky. The earth cracked, and water gushed out from below and flooded the earth. Fire dropped from the holes in the sky, and everywhere, wild beasts came out to prey on the people. Things couldn't be worse. The only savior was goddess Nuwa. Nuwa drove the wild beasts back and tried to heal the earth. Nuwa looked around and saw something shining with fluorescent lights on top of a mountain, and she reached out to grab it. They were rocks. Colorful rocks that shone mystical lights. There were 5 colors: red, yellow, blue, white, and green. Nuwa threw these colorful rocks into the fire in the forests, and clouds of different colors rose from the flames. Fire from heaven! Melt the rocks! Nuwa commanded, and right away, lights shot out from the fire, as if a sun was hidden in it. Nuwa picked out the rocks from the blazing fire and saw that they had melted into one clear piece of crystal. She held up the crystal and flew into the sky, where the hole was, against all the raining drops of fire on the way. Nuwa patched up the hole in the sky. The moment this was done, the crystal shone lights so bright that all the people on the ground had to close their eyes. Many covered up their faces and prayed to somebody, hoping this was only a nightmare. Time passed, and by the time some people had dared to open their eyes, they saw that the fire was gone, and in the northwestern part of the sky, colorful lights glowed and danced. "Look, we're saved! Nuwa saved us!" people shouted. But Nuwa didn't have time to celebrate. She flew to the place where the earth was sinking and saw huge waves flipping underground, and there was a dark shadow under the water. "How dare you make all this trouble?" Nuwa shouted as she dived into the water, which seemed to be boiling. Soon, a giant whirlpool appeared, and like a dragon drinking water, sucked up the flood water from all over. "The flood is subsiding," someone shouted. "Where is Nuwa? Where is she?" People gathered around the whirlpool to look for their goddess. All of a sudden, a giant figure shot out from the water and went straight toward the sky. It was their goddess, Nuwa. Her hands were held up toward the sky, and in her hands was a giant tortoise. It was the giant tortoise that was stirring up the water underground and caused the flood. Nuwa pushed the tortoise into the sky, and like a table, the 4 legs of the tortoise became 4 pillars that stood between the sky and the earth, holding the elements in place. Only after all this was done did Nuwa come back down to earth. She said to her people, "The sky has been patched with colorful rocks, and there are 4 pillars for support. You don't have to worry about the sky falling anymore." People were overjoyed. Nuwa continued, "My work is done, and I need to rest. From now on, my people, this world is yours." As she was saying this, a pair of dragons emerged from the clouds, one white with wings and one black without horns. They carried Nuwa back into the heavens, and they turned into many, many blinking stars. This is the tale of Nuwa, who mended the sky. There are many similar stories from around the world trying to explain natural disasters. People were so powerless against them that they imagined the existence of supernatural gods and goddesses that could conquer nature. After Goddess Nuwa saved the world, what happened afterwards? Could humans control their own fate from now on? In the next episode, we will introduce the great god, Fuxi. Who is he, and what did he do? Well, we'll find out soon. Bye for now. This is a China Plus podcast. Special thanks go out to Sanlian Zhongdu for their help in creating the content for this show. If you like the podcast, please give us a rating and be sure to subscribe wherever you listen. If you've got any questions or feedback, please feel free to contact us via email at podcast@cri.com.cn or find us on Twitter, China Plus Pods.